Okay, guys, I know you want us to get to the point, and the point is that we're engaged. It happened, y'all.
It happened.
A lot of you have been waiting for Yannick to give me this ring, and since we didn't explain much in the other video, we thought this was a video that we had to make to tell you how it was and all the like
A little bit behind
details.
the scenes.
Yeah, all the details. You know?
Yeah. So, where should we start?
You have to start because you're the one that planned this whole
Okay.
thing.
First of all, we wanted to go to visit California last year in March.
Yeah.
And my idea was to propose to Joss last year in March in California.
Yes.
We arrived to LA, and then the pandemic started, and everybody was going crazy in the supermarkets. We couldn't find water, we couldn't find toilet paper, and then we decided to go back to Mexico the same day almost.
Yeah, we got very scared and we got back to Mexico.
Yeah. So our trip was cancelled, and with that, the proposal.
I was not expecting you to do it back then,
Uh huh.
but I get why you decided to wait. Because we were just at home in my house in San Luis Potosí, not doing much.
I was thinking for so long, like, where should I do it now?
Yeah.
And then we were going to Tulum. I thought, should I do it in Tulum? There was a chance to do it in Germany, in Bavaria, for example, in the Alps, which seems very
yeah.
romantic.
We wanted to go to, yeah.
We wanted to go last year in summer, but then didn't happen either because of the pandemic. So this year we made plans to go back to California. So I was like, okay, now or never, y'all.
It's been way too long. 1 year later.
Yeah. If you are following our channel, you know that Joss was going back to Mexico and I was staying in Germany.
Yeah.
That was in May.
Long distance relationship, y'all.
Yes. And the same day when Joss went onto the airplane to go to Mexico, I started looking for rings. Again, because I started before. And that took me like 2 or 3 months until I finally found a ring. It's so complicated. I don't want to know how much time I spent looking for rings and going through forums. There's a website called mysparkly.com
Not sponsored.
because I wanted to see how it looks on a real finger. Yeah. So what type of cut fits to what type of finger, to what type of skin color, because some people say, rose gold doesn't fit to this type of skin color.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You can contact Yannick if you need any help finding a ring for your girl.
Yeah, I'm an expert now. Call me, my number is here, and I will let you know my price.
Only 200 euros. I can imagine this decision took a long time.
It did, but also what made it way harder was that she wanted something special.
Yeah.
But that's all she said. She didn't give me any more details. Like what color? Should it be silver? Should it be gold? Should it be rose gold? No idea. And then what size does she have? I also didn't know. That was the biggest problem.
We went to a jewelry store like 2 years ago, and Yannick told me, you should ask what's your ring size.
Just
they
for
should
fun.
measure you. And I thought, this smells funky. He's probably gonna give me the ring soon. That was 2 years ago. And I got it measured and I told him my size and we moved on.
And I forgot. I forgot what they said. I had no idea.
He didn't even give me a ring. I was expecting it the whole time after that. And you never gave me a ring. I was like, what happened there?
Yeah. Anyways, after 2 or 3 months, I got it. And my plan was to propose in San Francisco. Because it's my favorite city, and I wanted her to remember it as her favorite city, so it was pretty selfish.
Great.
But I also knew that Joss wouldn't like to have a lot of people around.
Yeah.
So in the city, there are always people around.
It was packed.
So that's difficult. And then when we were in San Francisco, it was so cloudy and kind of cold and windy.
We found a beach that had a beautiful view of the Golden Gate Bridge, but it was so foggy that you couldn't see the bridge at all.
Yeah.
That would have been a great place to do it. If it would have been a good weather.
True. That's true. So my next idea was to do it in Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe looks so amazing. If you look up pictures, you're gonna understand why. We wanted to go there for 2 days. Sadly, on those 2 days, the weather was so bad. It was rainy, and also there was a wildfire pretty close, so they said the air pollution was pretty high.
And it said something about like flood risk
warning or
something.
whatever.
Yeah.
So we didn't end up going. My next plan was to do it in Big Sur. It was very beautiful. We really enjoyed the day. We went to a very nice beach. There were very few people around. It's the evening now. We're still here at the Pfeiffer Beach. It was super nice. We were sitting here having dinner. The sun was shining. We were watching the ocean, the mountains, everything around us. That guy.
Favorite day so far?
So it could have been a great moment. And actually, the funniest thing is that in that moment, we were talking about getting engaged and stuff.
Yeah.
And Joss said,
I don't have a vibe.
I don't have a vibe.
Through our relationship, I've had like 2 moments where I really felt the vibe, like Yannick was about to propose to me, and they were both wrong. And this time, before we left to the US, I thought he may propose, because it's like, it's about time. But he was so relaxed. I really thought I know Yannick better than the palm of my hand. So I knew if he has something in mind, I'm gonna notice right away.
Yeah.
I didn't notice anything. I was like, oh, it's not happening. I was even like a little bummed, like, ugh. I could tell you don't have a ring with you. You probably haven't even looked for a ring yet.
But what Joss didn't know was that I had a ring in my backpack that day.
God. And you thought you may propose that day.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That would have been funny if in that moment I would have said, actually. Some people might say it would have been the perfect moment. But for me it wasn't, because I just didn't feel it in that moment.
Okay.
It's difficult to describe, but man, when you know, you know. The next day we drove to Sequoia National Park, which is a park with the super big sequoia trees.
The biggest trees in the world.
Yes. Sadly, we didn't see the biggest one, but the second biggest.
Yeah.
We were visiting the park, we had a great time. We saw a bear, which was amazing but also scary at the same time. And then I really wanted to go to a place that was all the way down the road, which took like 3 hours to get there because it was in the last spot that you can reach with a car.
I think I fell asleep on the way there, probably.
Maybe.
It was a meadow.
Yeah, it was a meadow. I saw it in pictures and it just looked very beautiful. There was a river, there were mountains in the background. You know, that type of stuff that we love to see in Bavaria when we went visiting the Alps. We went there and we took a bunch of photos.
It was just very pretty.
Yeah.
And then I was telling Yannick, let's continue, no? Let's continue walking. And he was like, no, I love this place. I'm like, okay.
Because I wanted to stay there because I was figuring out, should I do it here or should I not do it here? Because my actual plan was not to do it there.
Yeah.
Like I was somehow imagining, okay, it didn't work in San Francisco and Lake Tahoe, so maybe I'm gonna do it in LA instead. But then there was nobody around.
Yes.
And the moment seemed so
Peaceful.
and perfect.
Yes.
And I was like, should I do it, should I not do it, should I do it?
And I was like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and she was talking like a waterfall.
I started asking Yannick questions or just talking to him, and he was not listening to me. He was like,
I was so distracted.
I was like, are you even listening to me? Like, yeah, what? I got annoyed that he wasn't listening to me, and I said, oh, this place looks so nice. It looks like Mr. Miyagi would be training here, or something from Cobra Kai, you know? And I stood up and I started doing like kung fu looking movements.
Yeah.
Acting like a fool, like always. And I guess then he said, I'm gonna marry her.
I saw her doing karate. It's not kung fu, by the way.
Karate.
And I was like,
Oh yeah, true.
she can protect me.
She can
I'm
protect.
gonna marry that. One other problem that I had was that Joss told me one time that she really wanted a video of that moment.
Yeah, I just wanted the moment to be captured for me to rewatch it. Yeah.
So that was difficult for me to figure out. But then, since we were taking photos already with a tripod, and then Joss started doing her Miyagi-Do karate, I thought, okay, this is a great moment because I could tell Joss to face the mountains, the river.
Yeah.
I set up the camera, said, okay, go, do your karate stuff. And in that moment, I got the ring out of my backpack.
There you were freaking out.
There I got nervous, yeah. I was going closer and I was like, is this really happening? Is this really the moment? I went behind Joss, I went down on my knee, and later I realized that I actually sat down on my foot instead of going on my knee, so I did it wrong.
So lazy. You did the lazy version.
I know why. I know I did that.
Why?
It's because you're so short, and if I would be on my knee, I would still be on your same height.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, for real.
Sure.
So check this out. This seems pretty high. I don't know. I'm
still shorter.
tall. Yeah, I guess I am.
And then
But I was like this.
And that's why I had to be like, okay.
So I went all the way down, and then I was just waiting for Joss to turn around.
Yes.
And from here you can continue.
And I was just doing my stupid thing, and then suddenly I did a punch. And with the punch, I looked back, and I look at Yannick there, and I have a blackout, dude. Because I remember I saw you. I wanna cry. I remember I saw you, and from the video, it seems like I only say, "Is this true? Is it really true?" Like my Mexican accent was stronger than ever.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Of course it's true. I mean, he has a ring and he's there. But I guess I don't know why. It just didn't seem real. Eventually I fell to the floor. So we were both on our knees.
Yeah.
And I said, yes. You said your speech. And in the moment he was like, I suck at making speeches.
I was actually nervous, so my mind was just going crazy.
Yes, I could tell you were nervous. And I was like, also freaking out. And then I said yes, and I hugged him. And it was so nice because we were hugging for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I started crying.
And Joss didn't even care about the ring.
I didn't
Dude.
even look at the ring.
I was there with the box in my hand for like 5 minutes. And she was just hugging me and saying, "Is this true?"
I'm crying.
And then at one point I told her, "Can I put the ring on your finger?"
It was so sweet. It's a very beautiful moment in my life. Our lives, hopefully.
Yeah. Yes.
And then Yannick put the ring on my finger, like a little shaky.
Yeah, I was pretty shaky. I was like,
Yeah, you were pretty shaky. And I was also shaking, and then we stood up and we were hugging again. The entire time after that, I was looking at my hand and I was like, ah! And then sometimes there were people coming because they wanted to take photos there too. And they would say, congrats guys. And I was like, they said congratulations to us. We are engaged. Like, it's hard to believe that we're engaged now. You're my fiance.
The moment was beautiful and the way back was beautiful too, through the mountains. We took a few more photos on the way.
Yes, and I didn't have my nails done. But it's fine.
Great.
It's been like almost 2 weeks now, and every now and then I still gel in between. Like I look at my
Out of nowhere.
at my hand, I get so excited for us. I always tell Yannick, I'm so happy for us, dude. I'm so freaking happy for us. I wanna cry. Wait, I'm very happy for us, and then I'm like, ah! I gel. And then we told my parents, we told my sister. We haven't told Yannick's parents yet.
No, because we want to wait until we're back in Germany to tell them in person.
Yeah, they had he didn't tell anyone.
No, nobody knows, except for 1 or 2 friends of mine.
Can you believe I'm gonna be your wife?
Yes, I can.
He keeps saying he can't.
She always
believe it.
asks me, can you imagine we're gonna get married? I'm like, yes, I was planning this for 3 months.
And I'm like, I can't believe it. What's happening? I'm so happy for us, dude. Like, man, I'm really happy for us. I'm happy
Me too.
to share this with you guys because you guys have been waiting for this too.
And asking for it for years.
Yeah. And Yannick, you didn't surrender to the pressure
No, I
of
didn't surrender.
social media. You did it on your time, when the moment was right, when you felt ready to do it too. And it was beautiful, it was magical. The best day ever. We're getting married!
Joss already started planning.
I tried to, because
And now she bought a book of the wedding 101.
yeah.
Everything you need to know. And there it says, first of all, enjoy your engagement. Don't
Plan
go crazy yet.
Yes, so I stopped planning. No, but I started thinking, oh my god, everybody that couldn't get married in 2020 pushed their weddings to 2021, and the people from 2021 to 2022, and I just started freaking out, and I thought,
We have to book it now.
yeah, I thought we have to be fast, dude, otherwise it's gonna take another 7 years.
Actually, in a couple of days we're going to Vegas.
Yeah.
And as you might know, in Vegas there are a lot of wedding chapels. So we could skip the entire part of planning a big wedding.
Just get married there.
Should we?
And that case is how I met your father.
What? Also, I just want to say that I got her the perfect ring size.
Yes, and a beautiful ring. The ring is so freaking beautiful. I love it because I always like sparkly things.
Yeah, I know that.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, so that was exciting.
Yes.
And now I think it's time to wrap up this video. If you haven't watched our the main engagement video, then click here now or here.
Yes.
And watch it. So guys, subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to our other channel.
Goodbye from me and my fiance.
She's so excited.
Cheers.